Hello, everyone. Hello. I'm Sheldon Barlett-Rumor, and this is it. Welcome back to This Is It TV. I hope all of you are doing well. Happy Monday to all of you. It is segment number 217. I'm going to look and make sure I'm right. 217, which is insane. And every day, I know, I say it every day, and I say it over and over again, but it still shocks me. We're on the heels of the Super Bowl. The Buccaneers won. I was kind of indifferent. Good morning to the game itself, just because, I'm an Eagles fan. Whether you guys like that or not, it's the truth. I'm an Eagles fan, and they were not even close to being part of the journey. So it's okay. It was all right. But the Buccaneers were amazing because I loved the fact that there was 2 female coaches on the Buccaneers this year, which is amazing. And then there was a female referee. There was just so many different things with remarkable women for the Super Bowl. So it was monumental, even though the Philadelphia Eagles did not have a showing or not even close. So I hope all of you guys are doing well. I hope you guys had a really good weekend, relaxed, and then maybe celebrated with some close friends, or just watched the game, or just took a nap. But I hope you guys are moving in the right direction this week and feeling as if you have all the information that you need in order to do so. Today's morning message, because you know what we do here at This Is It Network, we connect remarkable women to inspiring stories. And I want you to really think about your story. I want you to think about your story, because I think that there's, a lot of us have had a number of trials and tribulations as it relates to our entrepreneurial journey, our career journey, all these journeys, right? And I know that so many of us are in a space where we don't necessarily know. Good morning, Candy. Good morning, guys. How are you? Hey, Donna. How you guys doing? I know that a lot of you, good morning, Lisa. How you doing, love? I know that a ton of you have had various journeys, right? The road has not been straight. There's been a lot of lefts, a lot of rights, a lot of turns, a lot of twists in your story. But what I want you to do, and I want you to really think about, is really owning your story. Owning it 110% of your story, and make sure that you are the storyteller of that. I know that a lot of people, and even most recently, I've come into contact with a number of different people who want to change my story, right? Who want to change what it is or how it is that I see myself, how it is that I see what it is that I'm doing, how it is that my mission for what it is that I've got going on. And for those of us that tend to be kind of insecure in what it is that we're doing. We have all good intention. We have got big dreams. We're living in an abundant space, but so often we're insecure in what we're doing. Sometimes those fictional storytellers want to come and rewrite our story. They want to dwell on things in which we have dismissed or moved on from or learned from. They want to be able to tell you what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing, what you did wrong, instead of you leaning into your strengths. They become distractions along the way. And what I want for us to do is take control of the story that we are telling. And so often people ask me, Sheldon, I don't have enough energy to be live every day. I don't have enough energy to be doing what I got to do. As far as social media, I don't have enough energy for all this mess, right? I don't have enough energy for all the things in which you are saying. And I'm not asking you to tell your story each and every day, but your story must live in your own voice. And the best way to do that is creating and maintaining a website that speaks to you, social platforms that speak to you, that have your story in it, right? That have your story in it, that you can really dictate the way in which stories are told, right? History only exists in the eyes of those who tell the story. Now, if you are not choosing to tell the story, if you are letting other people tell your story, you are doing yourself, your community, and your legacy a disservice. We must become our best storyteller. We must become the individuals that scream from the rooftops about the strengths in which we have. Because there are negative storytellers that want to rewrite your story, that want you to dwell on what you do not have or what you should not have done or the mistakes that you have made. But the true individual that can tell their own story, that can be bold about what it is that they do well, and let that be the story that's told in their absence. I know that a lot of you may even be able to let these people kind of creep in and begin to let them change your story. change it around. But remember when you did this, or remember when you did that, or this isn't what, this is not how I remembered it. Mm-mm. And this is not in a play of fiction. And my goal is not to have you rewrite history, but for us to tell the stories that benefit what it is that you want. So you are clear that the individuals that are receiving the information about you are doing so with the intention in which you have intended. I think it is so super important. I think it is super important that we are making that make sense. I think it is super important that we are living that truth. I think it is super important that we are in that space. And for me, I want to make sure that we are doing all that we can in order for that to be clear. I want to make sure that what it is that we are putting out into the world is of a boastful nature, of a nature that is strong and allows for the stories that we tell about ourselves to make sense to those in which we want to tell our stories in our absence. And it's not really a complicated thing. It's just more so me kind of really begging you, asking you to not pay attention to the people who want to give you a rewrite. The people who want to say, okay, but this is how I remember her, right? How many of you are living in a space and have changed your life multiple times? Good morning. Have changed your life. Good morning, Joe, multiple times and have lived various lives. I have. And some of those various lives were fruitful. Some of those various lives I did well. And some of those various lives I did not do well. Some of those various lives I was not at the peak of my game. I had made more mistakes than I had successes. But I will not live that story. And that to me is you controlling your own, they say in the media business, your own narrative. And it's not to be manipulative. I think that the majority of people in this world win and they lose. But me dwelling on my losses, me dwelling on my mistakes, we must learn from them. But they cannot define us and our story. They can't be the only thing people remember about us when we have left the room. It can't be. Because I know that you're in a space. I know that you made mistakes. Because guess what? The people who want to rewrite your story, most of them made more mistakes than you. And it is a distraction, right? Trish, it is a distraction by them choosing to tell your negative version of your story. So I want you guys to control it. Not because I want to give you more work to do. Not because you need to go live every day, because you don't. But I need you to make sure that the breadcrumbs out there of your life are leading to something delicious. I need you to make sure that what you are putting out into the world, what people can find about you, good morning, Darby, is consistent with what it is that you want. Do not let other people write your story. Do not. Do not. Do not leave it to those individuals that you think have your best interest, even though they may be misinterpreting the story. How many of you have watched a movie, right? Or not even watched a movie. Somebody said, you got to watch this movie. You got to watch it. And they're like, what's it about? And they cannot string two words together to be able to figure it out. They are obsessed with the movie. They love the movie, but they cannot articulate the features and benefits of that movie. They cannot tell you who was in it. You don't remember that guy, that name. Remember he was in that thing, right? They were in that space. They have all good intention. They love the movie, but they still can't tell you the story that would benefit you even watching it. You're like, I don't know what you're talking about. Never mind, right? Some of us have amazing storytellers in our life. Some of us have wonderful people that endorse us on a regular basis, that sing our praises in our absence. But some of us do have those ones that aren't so shiny, that want to dwell on the things in which we were unable to do and our lives that we lived multiple lives ago. And so for that, because of those few, we must insist on telling our own story. We must insist on sharing where we are now, what our intentions are, where we're able to be, and how we're able to move forward. What we're able to provide, the features and benefits in which we offer. We must tell our own story, write our own history in that way. Not allow, right, for individuals that don't have all the answers or weren't necessarily there, be the individuals that tell our story completely. And I know that our mistakes ring louder, right, Donna? Ring louder than our successes. And if we let them, they will be the definition of our story. They will be the stories that people tell. We will lead with excuses in that space. Good morning. We'll lead with excuses in that space It'll be like, okay, but I did this thing. I tell this to my students all the time. They always come to me and they're like, well, this is my sixth major. I'm like, I don't care about your sixth major. What are you graduating with? What is going to be on the document? That is what I want to know. We keep living in the mistakes that we've made or the indecisiveness of our past instead of moving forward. And there's some people who want to keep you in the story in which did not benefit you. They want to remember you as the child that made mistakes or the employee that was late when you are no longer that person, when you have evolved. And what I say to all of you is live your story, tell your story, understand your story. Good morning, Rebecca. Understand your story. Understand it so you can recite it. Understand it so you can document it. Understand it so you can share it. So there is no dispute as it relates to the value that you bring, because you are the storyteller in your own life. And so often we forget that we can tell our own story. We believe and leave our story into other people's hands that don't know us well, that aren't clear on their journey. Well, that's what people think. That's who I must be. You must open your mouth, part your lips, as I like to say. Part your lips and tell people who you are. And if you are not as extroverted as me, it's okay. That's all right. But you must leave those breadcrumbs, whether it be online or through your social spaces, so people can clearly identify who you are in your absence. So the story is controlled and manageable, that there's a place, a home where that lives, where people can get the most authentic self, as well as the most consistent self with what it is that you are looking to share with the world. Because I can, with confidence, say that the majority of people, if not all the people that follow, fan, and like me, deserve to be seen clearly, deserve for people to understand what their intentions are, deserve to be judged as who they are versus who they were. I will comfortably give you permission to understand that your story is yours to tell. And there may be valleys, and the person receiving that story may be better for the valleys in which you share. But I want you to look at those valleys from the hills in which you live, so people can understand the journey. People can understand where you've been, but from your own words, from your own mouth, so people can be better for what it is that you have to offer. And I know that it is difficult, so I'm going to require you to practice. But we need to begin to tell our story, and ideally let that story live in as many places as possible. So in your absence, when they Google you, when they search you, when they say, I want to learn more about you, they get the information that they need in order for you to be seen in the best light. I'm Sheldon Bartlett Rumor, and this is it. A little morning message. I do this each and every day, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock Eastern, in hopes of giving you a little bit of inspiration so you can stay motivated from day to day. I know that you guys are following, fanning, and liking me, and I am so spoiled. We have an amazing event coming up on 2/22. It is Find Your Voice. We'll be doing a full hour and a half amazing deep dive so you guys can use your voices, amplify your voices to tell your story, to no longer whisper your wishes, but to in fact scream your dream. If you're interested in joining, a registration link, it's only $25. A registration link can be found within the post. Please, 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 please come join me. I'm super excited. I'm going to actually see if I can post it right now. Nope, I'll post it in the comments as well in a little bit. But I want you to make sure that you can come join, and that we can have a night that is just filled with us understanding the power of communication and what we can get when we simply ask for what we want. For more information on all that we've got going on, make sure to log on to thisisittv.com. If you think that someone in your life needed this today, needed to understand the importance of their story and them telling their story in their own words, please feel free to share this. And don't forget to watch our new episodes by logging on to thisisitt.tv and following, fanning, and liking everywhere you find at This Is It TV. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 11 o'clock Eastern. Don't forget to scream your dream.